All right, well, here we are. It's March 2nd in the evening. Just got home from work, and Amy is going to show us this evening how to make sloppy doughs. Yes, that's right. 25 years she's been making these sloppy doughs for her family, and man, these things are just amazing. So check this out.
Okay, so we are making sloppy doughs. And again, we're gonna make them super simple. Our heart and our hope is that especially the younger generation will see the value of hunting and how you can just create really simple meals and anyone can do it. I'm preheating the pan with just a little olive oil. Again, this is optional. You don't have to do this. I just like to do that. And it adds just a little bit of good flavor. All right, and I'm gonna do 2 pounds of ground venison because we're gonna do 1 to eat tonight and 1 to freeze. And then we're just gonna ground this up. That oil makes it really sizzle. As it's cooking, I am going to add the chef, garlic, and onion salt. This is a made in Michigan product. If you have garlic and onions, you can use that too. And just like a little bit of salt like that. So these, you can buy them at Sobe Meat in Grand Rapids. And you can also buy them, I think you can buy them online, but I like to get them like from a meat market just to kind of support local. They have another product that is this Miracle Blend, and it's basically like all-purpose seasoning. You can use it, anything you would put salt on, you can use. So again, if you don't have this, you don't have to use it. This is just a little extra, and I'm just gonna use like, not even a tablespoon, just like a little bit of that. And again, if you don't have the garlic and onion, if you have fresh onions, fresh garlic, if you don't worry about it. Just a little salt would be fine. And then you just cook this like you would be for anything else. But remember, venison cooks fast, so you don't want to leave it. Like beef, you can usually just leave it and let it go, but you want to just put it a tad lower than you would ground beef. So I have it on like medium high. So these freeze great, and I'm gonna show you a little pro tip again on how to freeze them very easily into individual servings. This is just like, it just breaks up the meat. I was gonna call it something, but I don't really know what it's called. It's just, it just breaks it up so that there's no like big chunks of meat. It's great for tacos and spaghetti and sloppy doughs. All right, we got this all ground up here. We're all fried up. And you do it till you for sure don't see any pink. Okay, and then we're gonna do the trick of draining the fat. This is a good pro tip. But you have to do it exactly this way. Turn the water on to warm, not hot. Just till it's warm. You have to use Dawn dish soap. It has to be the original blue Dawn dish soap. And I'm going to use a spoon. Okay, so this is warm. I'm going to take my meat here. And I know there are better ways to drain the fat as far as this goes, but I'm just going to scoop it out right down the drain. Don't panic. Just warm water so it doesn't so it's not burning hot. And this has a little additional fat, fat, because we add a little bit of pork or beef suet to our meat, so that I think it gives it a little more flavor. Okay, once you put that down, you're going to add about this much Dawn dish soap. And you're going to let it sit there for just a few seconds. And then you're going to turn on the hot water. You're going to chase it down. See? The drain is perfectly perfect. You can do that hot water as long as you'd like. But I'm impatient, so I'll just do it for just about a minute. And that's it. Pro tip. Okay, now we're going to add, this is the part you can use whatever you'd like. I'm just going to use ketchup, Worcestershire sauce, mustard, and brown sugar. Okay? And again, you can use whatever you'd like. As far as, instead of this, you can use tomato sauce. You can use, you can cut up green pepper and bell peppers and red pepper, whatever you want. And you can add vinegar. Some people use that. I'm just keeping this very simple. Okay? So you would use, if you use the red sauce, you would use that instead of the ketchup. Or you can use both. Okay? So I'm going to do about, I'm not going to measure this, but I'm going to do about, this is 2 pounds. So about 1.5 cups of ketchup. So just because I've been cooking for a very long time, I know about what that is, but otherwise just use a measuring cup. And with cooking, it doesn't have to be exact. With baking, I highly recommend measuring. And again, this is 2 pounds, so you're going to do double what you would for 1 pound, obviously. Okay? And then I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of mustard, not even, between 1/8 and 1/4 cup. This just gives it that nice little tang. So you want about 1/4 of the amount of mustard to ketchup. We'll do that. And then the Worcestershire sauce, like a tablespoon at the most, just a little bit, like that. And you don't even have to use the Worcestershire sauce. That just makes it a little tangy. You can also use vinegar, apple cider vinegar, whatever you want. And then brown sugar, we're going to do 3/4 cup. It's a little bit hard because we don't use brown sugar too much. Another pro tip, if you take a slice of bread and put it in your brown sugar overnight, it will soften it right up. Okay, that's probably good. And this is a very forgiving recipe, so if it's not, you'll be able to taste test it. And it's easy to just add in a little bit more of whatever you'll need. And you just stir it all up. Some people like to add a little water. I don't. And then I'm just going to turn it on low-ish, so like 2. And just let that, just to kind of warm it up. And you just mix it all together. And if you are trying to go low or no sugar, you can also use monk fruit for this instead of brown sugar. So that is a natural alternative that tastes pretty similar. So you can get, it's basically brown monk fruit. Okay? You can get that right at Meijer. You stir it in really good. You can add a little bit more of the garlic and onion. And that's it. So it's a nice, simple, easy filling meal. And again, we're not trying to be fancy, we're just trying to be practical because we got to all feed our families, right? So, do you want to give it a taste test?
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's a spoon. Okay.
That is amazing.
Oh, good.
It's perfect.
Oh, good.
For real.
Because it's cheap and it tastes good and it's easy to make ahead. It'll stay good in your fridge for probably 3 days, and you can freeze it for up to 6 months. Great value hamburger bun. It's probably 99 cents for the whole thing. And you can add cheese to it, or you could add raw onions to it. Or they're just great, just like this. So it's about, 2 tablespoons or whatever. You can serve it with chips, or you can serve it with veggies and ranch, veggies and dip, coleslaw, baked beans, whatever you want. There you have it.
Yum. That looks amazing.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mmm. Amazing. Mmm. Nice work. Delicious.
Good. Glad you like them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so to freeze these, you take a muffin pan, a little bit of canola oil or cooking spray in them if you want to. Just makes it a little bit easier for them to break free. Okay, and then you're just gonna fill these, and these will be a single serving. So you just fill those with a couple tablespoons of your meat.
That's my kind of cupcakes.
All right, and you're just gonna pop these in the freezer for a couple hours. I'll show you when they're done. You can put them in your chest freezer or whatever you want. All right, I'm gonna pull these out of the freezer. They're in there like 2 to 3 hours. And you just slide them out with a knife, and they're nice and frozen. Oop. It's okay if they come apart a little bit. probably should have stayed in just a little bit longer. We're kind of pushing it. But the longer you keep them in the freezer, the more they're going to just fine. Yeah, they'll be nice and solid if you let them go maybe like 3 hours.
So we'll put these into the Ziploc bags so that I can take them into work and heat them up throughout the week, and I got nice, inexpensive lunches.
Yep, and you can do them in like Ziploc, like little sandwich bags, and then you could do like 2 or 3, and then you wouldn't have to keep taking them out of the freezer. You know, that would make them more individual. But you don't want to refreeze them once you thaw them out. Yep, so this is a nice, easy way. Get a few cheap lunches.
Voila, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's it. And you can quickly put them back in the freezer.